Reggie posted, this hurts my soul. What does this do? I mean, you go way back with Jim.
Yeah, it's like losing a family member, right? There was times where I felt like J.I. treated me like I was one of his sons, even though he didn't have any, It's kind of funny because that's part of the conversation me and Edge had, It was like we were his sons, like he would have did anything for us. So when you lose something like that, it definitely shocks the soul.
Reggie, what was it like to have your relationship evolve from being a young guy that got drafted to now being the coach on the staff?
Yeah, I joke with guys all the time. I say I think I was the last draft pick to have a helicopter ride. But yeah, when you've been a part of this organization since 2001, you go way back, if I take 20, 25 years of my life from where I am now, I'm a different dude, so it's a lot that you've invested in, it's a lot that you've been a part of, it's tough, it is.
What's a characteristic about him that maybe people don't know or appreciate that much, do you think?
I think everybody knows his biggest characteristic, and he had the biggest heart in the city, right? I think we all know how caring he was, how easy he was as far as giving, right? I've always said, to a lot of people in the city, kids and all that stuff, like the athletes, they think the athletes are the real heroes, right? No, we were just Robin. He was the Batman. You know what I'm saying? So, I think he was definitely the heart of the city.
You know how much he cares about winning and what it means to be a part of that team that won that first Super Bowl here in Indianapolis.
Man, I know that's all you used to talk about. My first time meeting him, he told me I was going to help bring a Super Bowl to this city, and I'm just glad I was able to help deliver, that part. You're talking, to a kid that's coming from Louisiana and, go to Miami. You just try to be happy to be here. You just try to fit in, right? And then when you get the owner of the team that's putting you into that formula, right? And telling you how much that you're going to help and be a part of this organization, right? It puts a little pressure on you, So you just want to make sure that you deliver.
Reggie, have you seen Carly have a stronger and stronger role? And we've talked to other players. On Sunday, she's got headphones and a clipboard.
Yeah, and she's in meetings. She's all around this place. She's been doing that for years. And she would even come and give you a pop quiz from time to time. So you got to make sure you're not asleep in those meetings. So but yeah, she's been a student of the game for many years. We don't start a game until we give the ultimate fist pump. And she almost makes my knuckles bleed with that big ring she has on her finger. But that's the stuff you look forward to, right? That's the stuff that you want to continue to grow and keep going, because you feel like that's something that we've invested in, that we put in. So, but yeah, she's been a student of the game for many years now, even before I got here.
Reggie, to have had not only the years of experiences that you did, Mr. Irsay, but also the depth of experiences with him, now having the role that you do, the voice that you do in this locker room, what do you want these players to know about?
Man, shit. I told the receivers, I said, a lot of y'all don't really know him. He would have did anything for anybody. He really gave the clothes off his back. I said, y'all don't really know him. And luckily, like all them dudes, they've just been here, right? So you don't know nothing else. But I said, but he cared about his players. He cared about his team, cared about the city. And it wasn't just the players, he cared about people in the building. Like, it was that dude. And I told him, I said, straight up, man, like, y'all don't really know him. I said, but y'all gotta push your ass for him. Because he would have did that for y'all. Right, so, yeah, that's what I told him. I said, man, y'all got homework to do, man. Like, read about him, right? Learn about him, so you really know the type of person he was. Like, a lot of people don't know. I remember on my last contract, you know, me re-signing here, and I don't even think I'm coming back, to be honest with you. Shit, I'm getting ready to take a trip to Chicago and Kansas City, and they blowing my phone up, you know, trying to set up a flight, and they kind of going back and forth. Then all of a sudden, my phone rang, right? And it was his number. I'm like, what the hell you calling me for? You know? Answer the phone, and it's him, right? He got that, hey, Reg, what you doing? Shit, I'm about to take a trip to Kansas City, you know? And he said, you know what? Nah, you're not taking that trip. He said, let's get this thing done. I said, what took you so long to call? You know? And he said, I had to watch my favorite TV sitcom. But he was like, he said, man, we don't need no agent. We don't need nothing. You know, so I actually did that deal with him by myself. I gave my agent 3%, and I don't even know why. that baffled me to this day. But, you know, then once I come here and re-sign, come and sign the paperwork, I see him, and we sit down for a quick minute, and he said, you know what? And I think I signed for like 17 million or something like that. He said, you know what? You could have asked for 30, I would have gave it to you. I said, damn! But you know, that's the type of dude he is, man. When you get to know him, right? You get to know him, he'll give you whatever you need. And that's what a lot of people don't do. Like, yeah, we see him do stuff on Twitter, and he gives out $100 bills. He was at the Edge induction for the Hall of Fame, just making it rain on everybody. Like, who the hell does that? You know? But yeah, he's that dude. I'm gonna miss him.